My name is Henry Matheson, and at 42 years old, I found myself starting over completely. Looking back now, it's almost hard to believe how my life unraveled and then rebuilt itself stronger than before. 7 years ago, I was CEO of Matheson Technologies, a software company I had built from the ground up over 15 years. We specialized in supply chain management solutions, and I had grown it to a valuation of $30 million. I was proud of what I'd accomplished, maybe too proud. That's when Vanessa entered my life. She joined the company as my executive assistant, brilliant and charismatic. Within months, she had become indispensable to me. I was impressed by her business acumen and how quickly she understood our operations. When our relationship evolved beyond professional boundaries, it felt natural. A year later, we were married. What I didn't realize was that every move had been calculated. 2 years into our marriage, after I had promoted her to COO and added her name to company assets as a symbol of trust, she filed for divorce. The prenuptial agreement I thought was solid had loopholes her lawyers exploited masterfully. In the settlement, she gained controlling interest in my company, the house, and half of everything else. I still remember sitting in my temporary apartment the day after finalizing the divorce, with $180,000 left in personal savings, watching the news announcement that Vanessa Matheson was the new CEO of what was now called VTech Solutions. My company, my identity, gone. For 3 weeks, I barely left that apartment. Depression hit hard. Friends tried calling, but I ignored them all. My brother finally broke through, literally. He used his spare key to enter my apartment and found me unshaven, surrounded by takeout containers. "Enough," he said. "You've got 2 choices. Let this destroy you or use it as fuel." His words cut through the fog. That night, I showered, shaved, and made a decision. I would rebuild, not just financially, but better than before. The first step was honest assessment. What did I still have? My knowledge, my industry contacts, and my reputation in the field. Vanessa hadn't been able to take those. I also had that $180,000, which could be seed money if I was smart. I identified a gap in the market that even my former company wasn't addressing. Small to medium manufacturers were being underserved with outdated logistics software. The big players like VTech focused on enterprise clients, leaving these smaller businesses struggling with inefficient systems. With $150,000 of my savings, I established Phoenix Logistics Solutions. The name was intentional, rising from the ashes. I rented a small office space and lived frugally, pouring everything into development. I reached out to 3 former developers who had left when Vanessa took over. They believed in me enough to accept reduced salaries with equity promises. The first year was brutal. I worked 16-hour days coding alongside my small team, sleeping on an office couch most nights. We survived on instant noodles and determination. By month 9, we were down to my last $20,000 with no revenue yet. That's when our breakthrough came. A mid-sized furniture manufacturer agreed to beta test our platform. Their logistics costs dropped 22% in the first month. They signed a 3-year contract worth $300,000 and, more importantly, became our most vocal advocates. Word spread quickly in manufacturing circles. By the end of year 2, we had 12 clients and had reached $1.2 million in annual recurring revenue. I finally moved out of the office into a modest apartment. Year 3 brought both opportunity and crisis. 3 major manufacturers wanted our solution, but we lacked the infrastructure to support them. I faced a critical decision: grow slowly within our means or take a risk on expansion. I chose risk, but strategically. Rather than seeking venture capital, which would mean giving up control, something I'd never do again, I approached a business contact who had always respected my work. After seeing our client testimonials and growth trajectory, he offered a $2 million loan with reasonable terms. That investment transformed Phoenix. We expanded our team to 28 people, enhanced our platform, and successfully onboarded those major clients. Revenue jumped to $7 million by year-end. Year 4 brought unexpected vindication. One of VTech's enterprise clients, dissatisfied with their service since Vanessa took over, approached us. Despite being too small for their needs by industry standards, they wanted to work with us because of our reputation for personalized service. That single contract was worth $4.5 million over 3 years. By year 5, Phoenix had grown to 65 employees and $18 million in revenue. What set us apart wasn't just our technology, but our company culture. Everyone had equity, everyone understood our origin story, and everyone was committed to proving that how you do business matters as much as what you sell. The industry took notice. In year 6, Phoenix won Supply and Demand Chain Executive's Company of the Year award. Our revenue hit $42 million. I remember standing on that stage accepting the award, scanning the audience, and seeing Vanessa sitting there with a frozen smile. Our eyes met briefly. She knew what I knew. This wasn't about revenge, it was about redemption. Last year, in our 7th year, we reached a milestone I once thought impossible. $100 million in valuation with annual revenue of $38 million. A major tech conglomerate offered to acquire us for $120 million. But I declined. Phoenix isn't for sale at any price. The journey from that empty apartment to here wasn't straightforward. There were nights I questioned everything, deals that fell through, technical problems that seemed unsolvable. But each setback strengthened my resolve. The wealth is nice. I won't pretend otherwise. I bought back my old house when Vanessa put it on the market last year, paid 20% above asking price just because I could. But the true value of this journey has been in the lessons. First, success is the best response to betrayal. Not for revenge, but because adversity reveals what you're truly capable of. Second, never again put all your trust in one person when it comes to business. Our company governance now includes checks and balances I once thought unnecessary. And finally, losing everything stripped away what didn't matter. Money, status, possessions, they can all disappear overnight. What remains is your knowledge, your resilience, and your capacity to start again. At 49, I now lead a company valued at over $100 million. But more importantly, I lead it with wisdom that only comes from having lost everything once before. That perspective is worth more than any dollar amount on our valuation. If you're watching this and facing your own setback, remember, your lowest moment can become the foundation of your greatest success. Sometimes you need to lose it all to find what truly matters.